Hey guys, this is Phil from the Goose Hummock shop. It's Saturday. Eric's done a fishing report. I'm just going to do a little bit of a tuna report for you, and then I'm going to talk about a couple of changes this year which I think are really important for us to know. So, tuna fishing. Obviously, a lot of people are saying, oh, the tuna are late, the tuna are late. It's like, no, they're not. We're early. The tuna don't have COVID this year, so they're running to their normal schedule. We're actually running a month ahead. Everybody's on Cape Cod. It's really high. We're all really busy. Restaurants, rentals, everybody's busy. Everybody's just here early. The tuna are due to arrive next week, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be here. We're seeing some spotty fish. There's been a couple taken off Stellwagen. There's been a couple taken off crab. There's been a couple taken off the sword. Onesie twosies, that's the bigger fish. The real bites, which is really exciting for me and I think us as recreational anglers, is the fish and the sand eels especially have moved north from New York. If you go down to the south of the islands right now, the tuna bite has been really, really strong, and it's those smaller fish. They're in the like 30 to 45 inch category, and there's tons of them. You know, I know one guy went 32 for 40 trolling bars the other day. So it's a really good bite down there, and it's a trolling bite, which is really fun because you get to see your gear. So the south of the islands is where it's at. Those fish are going to migrate through. I was tuna fishing the same day. We started down south. We went off to Crab Ledge, and I was in 25 acres of bouncing mackerel chasing sand eels. There was bait everywhere. No tuna, but they're coming. So the next week or so, they're going to be here, so dust off your stuff. A lot of the fish so far, it's looking like smaller fish. Again, that's a change over the last couple of years. They've been massive the last 2 years. If we get a recreational class of fish come through, that's when you want to be spinning, that's when you want to be run and gunning, that's when you want to be using your light tackle. You don't need your 80s and your 130s. But bear in mind, of course, those bigger fish will be coming through. You don't want to end up with a knife in a gunfight and be battling a monster on a 30 wide. So that's the report. It's really good. But what I wanted to talk about and spend a few minutes with you is let's look about the subtle changes. Last couple of years, it's been a pogie mackerel half-beak bites. That's been the prey, so we've been fishing for bigger profile. We've done a massive amount of bait fishing. I'm excited because I think now we can turn back to a more traditional bar-based bite. You know, I went 2 for 2 last week on tuna south of the islands. Some of my friends went 7 for 7 because we had a lie in and we got there late. But it's really coming. And the nice thing is you're starting to use bars, you know, traditional colours. This is the pink. If you notice, this is a tracker bar. Relatively recent innovation in the last couple of years. What that means now is you can set a wide spread without having to use your outriggers. So if you don't have outriggers on your boat, put some side trackers in, and this vane here will actually help your bait go out to the side. We've got them from chatterbaits. We've also got them from Tormentor. My big colours is I love this pink and I love the smaller squid. This is another one here. This is what we call the Ghost. It's like a pearl pattern. And this has got like a flying fish head, which is again something you see south of the island sometimes. This is slightly bigger squid, but this is a pearl. So these kind of lighter colours do really well. And I didn't show it because it's synonymous is the green machine. The green machine has been killing it. That's a hard-headed green with obviously a squid tail on it. That is probably the #1 lure right now for trolling, whether it be on a daisy chain or an 18-inch bar or a 36-inch bar. The fish don't seem to mind what size bar you use, but bear in mind if you're using 30s or really small gear, hoiking in a 36-inch bar from a long distance is going to be hard on you, and sometimes you want to get them in fast, so you can use the smaller ones. And if you find yourself getting there at first light, here's one of my chatterbaits. This colour is a traditional Easter Chatham colour. We call it Widowmaker in the shop. It's got the black with a red stripe and the kind of like abalone foil to it. We're finding this and the purple is doing really well very first thing in the morning. So if you're on the if you're trolling south of the islands, just at dawn, like 5:30, 6 o'clock, go the darker colours for the first hour, and as the sun comes up, migrate to these lighter patterns. Okay, and the last thing I show you on the bars is we've been building these in the shop See how small these squid are? Really tiny squid. These tiny squid shells, the smaller profile lure, the better. I'm going to chuck all these out of the way. Shit, just took that one at the front. So let's talk about, so we talked about the bars. The cool thing is going to be is, that they're a wonderful size fish to cast at. And they're great fun to cast on spinning gear. And what I'd really say again is, because the feed is sand eel, you kind of want a sand eel profile. And I just brought a mix of baits out. So this is an absolute classic. This is the Ron Z. Ronnie was a tuna god, bless him, up here. It's a fantastic, I caught more tuna on this soft plastic than any other soft plastic put together. It's a fantastic lure. It's got a 4X hook in it. It's also angled to help with less chance of the fish levering it off. These are like 20 bucks. And I've got these in two colours. I've got the silver metallic and I've got the olive metallic. Very sand eel-y colours. They do a 10-inch version, but I think the 8-inch actually currently, because the sand eels out there are tiny, so that'll be about right. And then if you look at some of the other lures, an old school for us is the Strategic Angler. Merv makes wonderful lures. This is the Espada, which we caught a ton of fish on in the sand eel. It's sinking, obviously, so it gets through the sheer waters. But Merv introduced last year, I think it was, or the year before, the Naya series. And this is a 130, and it's a tiny little profile. That is so sand eel-y, it's incredible. It's slightly translucent like they are. You can rig that with a single treble, or you can run it with a single inline on the back. You can even run an assist off the front if you wanted to. And then he does the even really baby smaller. This is the 100. And that to me is absolutely on the money. And it's 45 bucks. Again, rig that with an inline single or rig that with a treble. And you've got a really nice low profile, easy to cast lure. And we've also brought some new lures into the store this year. This is from Jackfin. This is the Pelagus. It's a 165. It's a really, really nice lure. It's hand painted. They use these in the Med and the Adriatic. Again, it's a smaller profile stick bait. Rig that with inline singles or rig that with trebles. It's actually designed and it's weighted especially for BKK, and we're the only BKK store in the country, so they're making incredible hooks. And another one, just to go a little bit off piste, this is by IMS Lures of Serbia. This is their needlefish, but it's in a sand eel pattern, so it's got that lovely low profile. This has a lovely side-to-side walk the dog action. It's a floating lure, but it's actually designed to dive. It's going to get down about a foot, maybe 2 foot. Really lovely sideways action. Again, and these are built to go with BKKs. Finally thing, obviously you got the lures, you need something to attach it to. You don't need to go massively heavy. And what we've been doing, because we think there's going to be a huge small fish bite this year, we've been building some combos. We're using the 14,000 BGMQ from Dyer, which is a really, really nice reel. We got 60-pound test, super slick, and we're running this. This is one of the Hunter rods. Hunter makes a really nice stiff rod, which is perfect for casting the smaller lures, not so much the Espada, but the smaller lures I showed you. We had the Hunter, and then we had the slightly lower version of Hunter, and these are going to be like 600 bucks, maybe less as a combo. So a really good entry point to get you into that run and gun game. What we do when we're trolling is we always have 2 or 3, maybe even 4 rods rigged. And if we see breaking fish, we actually stop the boat and cast at them. And then we worry about our gear later, which isn't necessarily textbook, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, so we've got some great combos. We've got some great lures. It's really looking like the sand eel is going to be king. New York had their fun the last couple of years. The fish have moved on and the fish are off our coast. So come in and gear up whilst you can. Inventory is good right now. It's not going to last forever because we still have the supply chain issues that everybody's having right now. But we want to get you on the fish, and we really want you to enjoy these smaller fish, and most importantly, enjoy them on the right size gear. There is no fun in catching a 35-inch bluefin on a Tiagra 80. It's kind of over in 3 minutes, and the fish doesn't know what happened, and you barely do either. So there you go. Thanks very much for listening. Call the store. Check us online at themightyfish.com. follow us on Instagram, and obviously subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks very much, guys.